Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Zara and today I am going to be talking about books that I will be prioritizing in 2023. I have zero plan for when I will be reading these books. I'm very much a mood reader. Might turn out that I don't read any of these books, in which case, there we go. But I think a lot of these I will definitely have like at the top of my mind as and when I'm finishing books. So let's just jump straight in. So I'm going to start off with a couple of series that I want to finish off. So the first one off is the Aspect Emperor Quartet by R. Scott Baker. I'm currently halfway through the quartet. I'm almost finished with the second book, which is fantastic, and I definitely want to finish that quartet by the end of this year. Almost certain that that will happen. I think I'm going to take a break between books 2 and 3, and then maybe in the summer I'll pick up books 3 and 4 and finish that off. Next, I want to finish off the Stone Dance of the Chameleon by Ricardo Pinto series. I have read books 1 and 2. I have books 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then I need to still buy book 7. It's a grimdark fantasy series that is very unique. I've never read anything quite like it. I haven't done a review of it yet because I want to read the first 3 before I do that. But it's fantastic so far. I am loving it and I really want to finish that by the end of this year for sure. The books are quite short as well, so they're quite quick to get through. Next, I will be reading, it's the only thing that I've committed to buddy reading, and that is the Devices and Desires trilogy by KJ Parker with Alan on his channel. We will be reading all 3 books in October, November and December, so it'll be at the tail end of this year. It will be, at least if we don't read any Parker series before then, it will be the first trilogy that Alan and I read, and we're going to be doing it as part of a read along on his channel. So there'll be some live shows and all that fun stuff, which I'm really looking forward to because I've not done tons of that. I'm excited to be doing that with him and obviously other folks on the Discord. Then I will be reading or hoping to read The Stardust Thief by Chelsea Abdullah. I'm actually hoping to read this at the end of this month with my friend Aina. We're not being overly heavily committing to it because she's busy, I'm busy, so we're both massive like mood readers. So we've said end of January, but we'll kind of revisit that if we need to. But I'm very excited to read that one because it's a Middle Eastern fantasy. I'm all for that at the moment and what I've been reading lately, so I can't wait to read that. Then I want to finish off a couple of mangas. So the first one is Berserk by Kentaro Moira. I am about halfway now, I think, in Berserk, and I'm now starting like another arc, and it's really good. I'm really enjoying it. Like, I think it's very, very grim. Very grim. It's probably some of the darkest stuff that I've read out there, but I'm really enjoying it overall. Like, there's definitely some things about it that I'm not a massive fan of, but when I do my Berserk review, I will talk more about that. But it's a really solid manga. Definitely not one that I would recommend people to start with, like I did. But there we go. You know me, I like to just go all in. Then I want to finish off Full Metal Alchemist by Hiromu Arakawa. I'm also about halfway through that. I will probably prioritize finishing that first because I have all the kind of 3-in-1 physical copies now. Just want to power through it. I've been really enjoying it. It's a story that really resonates with me in some ways. I'm loving it so far. I'm loving it a lot more than I anticipated. Then I want to read some more Daniel Polanski. I read The Builders last year and I loved it. One of my favourite books of 2022. So I really want to pick up the Lowtown series by Daniel Polanski. I have, I think, all the books now. And I just want to read more of his stuff because I think he's going to be a favourite author. Then I want to carry on with The World of the Five Gods by LOIS McMaster-Bujold with the second book, and that is Paladin of Souls. And I loved Curse of Shalion, also another one of my favourite books of 2022. I just loved everything about it. And heard the later books aren't as good as that first one, but look, that was exceptionally good. If it's even like a fraction as good as that, I'll be happy. Then we've got Sons of Darkness by Gaurav Mohanty. I started reading this last year, but my reading mood switches very quickly. So I might be like halfway through something and I love it, and then my mood will switch and I'm just like, I can't do this. And that's exactly what happened. I was about 20% of the way through. I wasn't that far in. I just couldn't. I was loving it, and then my mood switched and I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. So I stopped reading it, and so I want to restart that and finish that this year, and I'm very excited to. Then I want to read some more GGK, specifically The Lions of Al Rasan. I wanted to read that last year, but I just never really was in the mood for it. I planned to read it when I was in Spain last year, but I don't know, I was just not in reading mode at that point. So I'm planning to go to Spain again this year, and I'll either read it when I'm there or I'll just read it outside of that. So I'm looking forward to that. Then I have 2 books by John Williams, a favourite author of mine now, and that is Augustus and Nothing But the Night. Once I read those 2, I will be up to speed on all of his books, which I'm very excited about. I'll probably be reading maybe Augustus this month or next month. I kind of like the sound of it. And then Nothing But the Night, I'm also really looking forward to because I just have a feeling it's going to be right up my street. Then I want to finish another series, which is the Pillars of Peace trilogy by Tom Dumbrell. The third book is called Where Heroes Were Born. I read the first 2 books last year and I really liked them. Was it last year or the year before? I think it was last year and the year before that. I really like them. I think they're like a really solid, like medieval historical fiction books. I also think they're quite good to read in between like heavy stuff because they're quite fast paced and you can kind of get through them quite quickly. So I'm hoping to finish that this year. Then I want to read Flowers for Algernon by Daniel Keyes. Might be bloody reading this with a friend of mine. This is a book that's been on my radar for ages and I just haven't read it and I really want to. So I'm going to prioritize reading that this year. It's also quite short, so I think I can get through it pretty quickly. And then 2 more. I really want to read The Court of Broken Lives by Anna Smith Spark. It's a trilogy. I don't know what the name of the trilogy is, but it's a series that I just think will be right up my street. I was doing some research the other day on female grimdark authors, and this series came up as one of the top ones to read. And Anna Smith Spark seems like a really cool person. I follow her on Twitter and she seems really cool. So I really want to pick that up this year and I want to read the whole trilogy. Then last but most certainly not least, I definitely want to read To Ride Hell's Chasm by JANNY WURTS. This is a book that I bought last year. I've heard a lot of people rave about it and I just have a feeling that I'm going to love it. It's a standalone. I think it's like an adventure fantasy kind of vibe to it. I don't think it's grimdark, but that's okay. Like I can read normal fantasy. So I'm looking forward to that too. So those are the ones that I will be prioritizing. Like I said, might come around to it and I don't end up reading a lot of these, but look, I'm going to try and be a little bit more structured because I'm not going to have as much reading time this year. So I want to definitely close out a couple of series, manga, and then, you know, pick up some stuff from authors that I've previously loved, but whilst also reading some new ones. So I think there's a good mix. In reality, I will probably end up reading more than this, but these are just the ones that are like at the top of my mind. So let me know if you've read any of these. Let me know what is top priority for you, maybe like your top 3, and let's take it down to the comments. I'll see you in the next video, folks. Stay safe, take care, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.